Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you about what Sledgehammer Games has planned for competitive Call of Duty in their next title, which will be launching later this year. So we'll call it CoD 2014 for now until the official title is launched. Some of this is leaked information, some of this is, let's say, less than public information that may be kind of sort of secret or that not many people know about, and I want to share it with you today. It's mostly good news if you like esports. If you hate esports, and there's a few people out there that do that, or competitive Call of Duty, then it's probably going to grind your gears pretty good. The gameplay that you're seeing is Black Ops 2 because that launched with a lot of competitive Call of Duty support thanks to Hastro's consulting with MLG and with Activision Treyarch on this title. And even though I got quick-scoped in the beginning, it's going to be a really great gameplay. I am going to get full streaks. I think I can do like 22 and 2 or 3. The enemy team will rage quit, and I have to swap over to an akimbo pistol gameplay, which is also very good. Got some quad feeds and stuff. But if you don't remember, the next Call of Duty game got leaked to me a little while back. I got to see it going on and see some stuff about the game. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out on the. It's featured on my channel. It's hard to miss. You can just type in MW4. But the only piece of textual information that I got out of that whole deal with the leak was that the studio has decided to put in really good esports support, or they decided to put in an esports focus and a team, and they decided internally in their own studio that they wanted to support esports and help that community and all that sort of stuff. It wasn't a directive from above or with other studios or you know, big corporate. They just independently decided they wanted to have good esports support and help that community. So there is a genuine plan inside that company within their own little culture and not from the outside to help competitive Call of Duty, which is good, but that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. And I know I didn't include that with the video at the time because I mostly just skipped over that and focused on the media files that I got, but I did put it up on Twitter if you want to read a little bit more about it. The next thing, which sounds a little bit crazy, is that I got some information about this at the last two Call of Duty championships. The one for Black Ops 2, which is what you're seeing here, and the one for Ghost this year. I'll start with we'll go in chronological order. So when I went to the Black Ops 2 World Championship out in LA, it was really weird because there was Infinity Ward people there, yes, because they were getting ready to prep Call of Duty Ghost and they were kind of watching the event. But there was also a lot of Sledgehammer people there, which was surprising to us because we didn't know what Sledgehammer had to do with, you know, World Call of Duty World Championship. We just assumed they were there working with Infinity Ward because we know they consult together and that sort of stuff. But what they were actually doing is they were actually watching the Black Ops 2 World Championship, that, you know, the esports that we had at the time and the competitive play, and they were kind of taking notes and marking stuff down and working on their internal development of their game, which they were already working on their game at the time, but the general public, me and everybody else, we had no clue. And that was terrible shooting on that guy. Please forgive me right there. So we didn't really make a note of it, but it makes more sense now because after going to this Call of Duty World Championship, which was Call of Duty Ghost, there was a buttload of Sledgehammer people there. There were so many Sledgehammer people there. I think there might have been more Sledgehammer people there than there were any other, we'll say, Activision studio group, branch, whatever. There were just lots and lots of them. They all wore these SH Games shirts. They were very easily identifiable. They were there from development, from coding, media, PR, production, pretty much every level. They were all there watching. And what I noticed is that the developers stuck together in a big group, and some of them had pencils and paper, and they were literally going around taking notes. This sounds kind of crazy, but they had notebooks, and they were just watching stuff and taking notes, which we had no idea. At first we thought they were just, you know, officiating in some way, but no, they were taking notes because they wanted to improve their game. And I definitely got this feeling because I was introduced to Michael Condrey, who is one of the people, he works at Sledgehammer Games, and we talked for a bit. And I was really taken aback. I thought it was just going to be a quick meet and greet. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Drifter. I make Call of Duty videos. Oh yeah, you make the game. That's cool. But the first thing he hit me up with, he was like, "All right, Drifter, if you were running this event, what would you change?" And I'm like, "What?" He says, "Yeah, if I gave you this event to run, what would you make? What would you change about it? What would be different?" And I was so not expecting that at all. My brain was in a totally different place. I was expecting to just kind of, like I said, simple introduction. I kind of derped, and I gave kind of stupid answers like, I think, you know, there should be more public at the event. There should be a bigger crowd, public tickets. Anybody can come if they want to buy a little ticket, which I still stand by, and I still think that's a good idea, but that wasn't really what kind of information they were looking for. And I was like, there should be segments to explain why the pros aren't using certain weapons, or why they're not leaning, or why what you're seeing here looks really, really different than what you play at home. And So just some very simple ideas, but I was so flabbergasted by the open-endedness of the question that I was incapable of coming up with a good answer. Thankfully, I did get some contact information for him. I was able to follow up with some other information and give him some actual good info that doesn't sound quite so ridiculous. We're swapping over to the akimbo pistol gameplay now. I'm going to kill this guy, and I'm going to kill one more in just a second after I take up the flag. I'm going to pick up his FAL with a, what is it, a tracker sight? Yeah, tracker sight. I almost forgot what it was. It's a really, I know it's not the coolest weapon ever, but I do really good with it, and I punished the same guy that, you know, killed me with it, so it's kind of relevant. The rest of the people were there doing the same thing. The developers were not quite as chatty. They tended to stick together in big groups, and they weren't as proactive about it. However, once engaged in conversation, they were immediately interested, and many of them seemed surprised at the relative level of knowledge about Call of Duty games that the people at the event, the pros and the YouTubers and the media guys had. They were just kind of, but they were interested, and they were taking feedback as well. So what this means is the little information that I got from my leaks saying that they want really good esports or competitive Call of Duty support, the fact that Sledgehammer Games was at the Black Ops 2 World Championship kind of taking notes and watching. In just a second is where I'm going to go ham with the FAL with the tracker sight or whatever this thing is, and the fact that there were a crap load. I mean, there were so many Sledgehammer Games people at this COD Championship this year indicates strongly to me that they're going to have good esports support. Also, doesn't hurt that a lot of their employees are, you know, they have some media types, some former pros, and that the scene is going pretty good in general, and I'm sure there's a push from Activision Main. It logically follows that whatever Call of Duty we have this year should, by all indications that I've seen, have some kind of good esports support. I don't know if that means game modes. I don't know if that means league play is back or fast patches. I don't know if that means that they're going to make it like League of Legends, where what you play at home is exactly what pros play, and there's no difference. So there's it could be a bajillion different things. All I do know is that there's a focus, an effort, and it is definitely interesting. And I thought it warranted a video that, you know, not everybody can go to these events, and a lot of this stuff doesn't end up on Twitter. It's just something that I thought you might find interesting. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful. And if you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.